lovely stinky friends, welcome back to my channel, or if it is your first time here, hi, my name is Melissa, or Missa Welcome. I'm a 32-year-old beauty addict from Scotland. Today we're sponsored by White Monster. Isn't that a nice treat? We're not actually sponsored by them, by the way. So I had an idea in my head to go back as far as I could, pretty much, on my channel and see my favourites and see if I still love those products today. I thankfully had the vast majority of these products still in my collection. So I'm really bad at editing in terms of I don't know how to put my other video in this video, but hopefully I can put like wee clips in as we're putting this makeup on. But basically I'm going to see if my I think it was June 2019, I'm going to see if those favourites are still my favourites. And we're almost in 2024, so it's quite a long time has passed, and this is the makeup look. This is the makeup look, or the thumbnail from that video. So the makeup is slightly different, obviously, but I thought I would do it in more of a 2023 style and just add a bit more sparkle because I was in that kind of mood. But yeah, we're gonna see if those favorites are still my favorites. This is all, by the way, pretty much all high end. If you want to see the drugstore version, I did do a video at the same time in 2019 of my drugstore favorites, which I could do again, like do this again but in full drugstore. So yeah, if you just want to fanny about with makeup with me today, see me from like 4 years ago. It's quite sad going back on my channel like that far. Like I got quite emotional watching, because it's at the same time that I kind of moved to this little town that I'm in, that my marriage broke down, that I really hurt my back. Like it was weird going back and seeing all that. But anyway, today's about the makeup, so let us clutter ourselves in high-end gorgeous makeup and see if my favourites are still my favourites. Okay, I'm gonna shut up now. Let's go. I'm obviously starting with the eyes because I don't know why I did my eyes after I'd done my base in, what the France? Ew, it's a hair. I don't know why I did my eyes after my base in that video, because that's not what I would do now. And I'm using my Revlon concealer. I think in that video I literally just used like the foundation that was on my eyes as my base. That's not how I roll now. I probably look about 40 years older than that video, don't I? But we do have the OG, the very same FRIENDCATION palette. This is super old. Probably should be in the bin. Is it ever going to go in the bin? This is one of those palettes I can't ever see myself decluttering. I don't think it would be possible for me to declutter this, to be honest. I'm actually starting with a lighter shade. I don't know why I did this, but I did it on the other eye and I was okay with it, and just big fat brushes today, really, just to pop this round. This palette is definitely still a favourite. I barely reach for it because it is A, very old, B, you totally can't get it anymore unless you bought it like second hand at this point. I don't think it is still a thing, but my lord, I'm not going to get rid of it. Plus the blue in it is just, it still tickles my pickle to this very day. I'm going to take the lighter colour and just go around. I'm going to probably blend this somewhat into my bronzer to make it more of like a 2023 Melissa. So I am bringing this quite high and quite round, and a lot of this will be cleaned up when I put my base on. I want kind of like my whole eye area to be bronzed and beautiful. And then I'm going to take this colour here, which is one of my favourites. I don't think this palette has like shade names, or maybe they came on like an insert, but that will be long gone by now. I'm going to pop this around my crease. I've got to be honest, I've not reached for this palette in ages because it is more just a sentimental keep now in my collection, but these shadows are still working literally perfectly. I am very pleased with them. I'm shocked at how pigmented they're still going on. I wondered if this would be like all dried up and horrible, and it's not. Praise be. Praise be. I'd be gutted if I picked up this palette and it actually just didn't work. I don't think I'd get rid of it, but I'd be like, I'm literally just going big and fat and rounded with this, and I will blend it more when my base is on and probably make it more blended, you know. We'll do everything. And then I took this shade here. I think I've got something in my eye. This is like the most stunning old gold colour, and I'm just using my finger. I don't actually like when I put a look on and my lid is lighter than my crease. I don't think it looks good. It looks good on like people that have like lovely deep set eyes with like not hoods, but on me I just don't like it. So I was like, that is a stunning colour, very different to this obviously. So I went in with this colour on top, which is actually like a blackened blue almost, but I just wanted to make my lid a little bit deeper. This shade, I've got to be honest, is not really performing like it used to. This used to go on like super pigmented, and now I'm like really having it like push really hard with my finger to get colour out of it, but in the end it's still doing what I want it to do. I got this when they used to sell Dose of Colours on eBay. Putting this down here as well, just on a smaller blue. It is actually going on okay. There is a part of me that's tempted to add a little bit of blue, but I don't know, I'm just going in with a bit more of that old gold on top, right up into my blending. And then I don't know what eyeliner I used. I didn't actually watch the video in full because I cringe really bad watching videos of myself. Even when I like this one, I'll edit it and upload it to YouTube, and then I will skip through the vast majority of it before putting it to publish because I don't like sitting and watching videos of myself. I find it really embarrassing. This is just a KVD liner. And then I did cheat a tiny bit just because it's how I do my makeup these days. I put a tiny bit of this NYX black, and this is before I read the description and realised I did use a KVD liner. So I'm just putting this NYX black on, and then I took my like current absolute favourite palette that I do reach for every single day and I took the black in it just to kind of blend that a tiny bit. I prefer it on my eyes now to have some black or depth up here. I feel like it balances out my eyes better. And then when I went back and read the description, I realised I put my KVD tattoo liner as my favourite, so I'm going to put this on. Is it still a favourite? Not really, but I'm not very loyal to black eyeliners. I will pick whatever one is in my drawer that actually works. I do really like the ABH liquid liner. In terms of pens, I don't really care. The Huda one maybe is my favourite because it's got such a fine nib, but yeah, I'm using this one because it's what I used in my OG video. I'm kind of rushing because Dan's going to be home soon, and again, I hate filming when other people are here. It makes me really embarrassed. And a 2023 Melissa thing is an inner corner wing, so I feel like it makes my eyes look more sexy. And I need all the help I can get in the sexy department. That doesn't match at all, but I'll clean it up. Doesn't matter. And then I noticed in like another favourites video, not the one that we're doing right now, but another one, I'd put Urban Decay Midnight Cowboy as a favourite. So I thought I could probably get away with using it because it was a favourite from like 5 years ago. So I'm just going to clark this all over. I just love the shimmer that it gives. It makes my soul happy above and below. I'm hoping this eye look comes together with my base on because right now I feel like it's really basic and rubbish, but I think it'll come together. 2023 makeup wipe favourite. Honestly, they get rid of everything. Literally everything. Okay, moving on to my primer slash moisturiser. I used my GLAMGLOW Glow Starter. Is it? Yeah, Glow Starter Mega Illuminating Moisturiser. I've got the shade Nude Glow. I still have this. This is a different tub, but I still have an absolute heap in here. What is that fluff? Because I don't really reach for it that much. I actually used it yesterday, really weirdly enough. Maybe that's what gave me the idea for this video, because I thought, oh, I've not used that in ages, and that used to be a favourite. It smells so lovely. It does have a lovely glow. It's probably something I would wear a lot more now if I remember to reach for it, because I don't really put heavy foundation on. So I feel like glowy primers would actually show up under the base that I do now, as opposed to back then. I used to be a lot more cake face. But I stand by this product being very, very lovely. I'm really annoyed I don't have my other GLAMGLOW favourite from this video, but I have a good alternative for it. But still, like, look at that, that's stunning. Yeah, I wore this yesterday. I didn't wear any makeup yesterday. I just put this on so that my skin looked a bit more alive. And it is lovely. Smells good, feels good, makeup goes on top of it, real nice. Lovely. I need to maybe put this in my primer drawer so that I remember to use it, because it's actually in my moisturiser drawer right now. It's just a lovely glowy base. So look at my fake ponytail. I can't even put it in properly because my hair extensions are so thick. So I'm just doing that for the sake of the video. And my foundation was NARS Natural Radiant Longwear. I think it was this one. I'm pretty sure it was. This one's in the shade Oslo. I don't know what I used in that video. And this one, as you can see, is very well loved, and it's pretty old, but it will be fine. I know I still really like this foundation, but I'm not going to put as much on as I would have done back then, because my style has definitely changed. Although I feel like I did pump out quite a lot. Wow, that's looking really pale on me. Am I tanned? Maybe I should have used a different shade. I've got like 4 of these in my drawer in various shades. It is looking pale. It's looking pale. When I picked them all up, I thought this one would match me the best, but I do still love this foundation. Like if Dan came in to me one day and said, go get your face on, we're going out for a fancy dinner, I would probably choose this foundation because it's absolutely stunning and I stand by it that it is still Gorgina. Once again, I look a bit ghostly now, but hopefully we can pull this back. Lord almighty, I chose the wrong colour though. Oops. Yeah, it still looks lovely though. Like it's full coverage, but it's not too heavy. Like if you don't put on too much, it doesn't feel heavy or cakey or anything. And then my favourite concealer was a Jouer concealer. I don't know why. I never really thought I was a big Jouer fan. It would have been on Beauty Bay. That's where I would have got it from because I never really ordered from the States back then. So I've got a cat hair on my nose and I can't get it off. So I'm going to have to use a 2023 favourite, which is Huda, obviously. This one is in Meringue 2.1N. This is my most used colour and this is just the concealer of dreams. It's literally like angels sent from heaven made this concealer for me and for other people, but really for me because it's my favourite. It is full coverage, clarty but not dry or cakey. It's not going to sit and get disgusting and all textured on your skin. It's just going to conceal everything with a gentle kiss of beautifulness. I always put way too much underneath my eyes, but it never looks heavy or horrible. It always looks nice. Can't say I still see that primer coming through. Like it's not glowy really, but you know, it did feel nice. It still smells nice. I wouldn't say go out and buy that primer now. I think there's better ones on the market since that came out so long ago, but it's certainly not a bad product. I didn't really do faux freckles back then, but it is a 2023 kind of remake of this video, so I'm going to put my faux freckles on and they will look absolutely gash to start off with, but hopefully I can make them work. I can't really live without my freckles these days, especially if I'm doing like a lovely bronzy look like this. I'm going to want my faux freckles, so please excuse the fact that I am slightly changing things, but not that much, but still. Obviously look shocking, but you go in with your sponge. That really settles them down. It kind of looks like freckles that you've put foundation on top of. Now I'm going to get my real freckles here. I got 2. I've got heaps on my body. Not heaps, but I've got some on my body. And I use my ColourPop freckle banks. It's just my favourite. I usually do about 3 or 4 layers of freckles. So that's what I'm doing. I think it really helps with like a bronzy sun-kissed look as well. If you have freckles. And if you have freckles naturally, just know I'm very jealous of you. And then my old favourite powder was Fenty loose powder in butter. Still a huge favourite. Absolutely adore it. I think I said in that video though that I really love the Laura Mercier loose translucent, but I used this one, so I must have really preferred this. I still love the Laura Mercier loose translucent and I still love this Fenty one. I use them both constantly, so I'm very consistent with some things. I would say on the whole, to be honest, I still love everything that I used in that video. But I'd say maybe the biggest change is my makeup style. I just was cake face and then I kind of realised I don't need to put so much product on my face to get the same result, if not a better result. So I always bake with my little Trigwell sponge puff thing, and then I will use a brush for the rest of my face. I really love this Fenty powder, but I've got like 3 of them in my drawer, which is why I've been using it a lot more recently, just to try and use it up a bit. I want to get the Beauty Crop loose powder, but I can't really justify buying a new loose powder right now while I have so many in my collection. But if you want a high-end loose powder that sets, doesn't make you look cakey, just makes you look stunning, then get the Fenty. I can't believe that foundation's too pale for me. Love, love, love that. Doesn't let me down. But one thing 2023 Melissa's going to do is put on a glowy powder on top. I'm actually going to use my Huda. I've been using my Melt one a lot recently, but it's a lot more glowy, so I want something a little bit more subdued and just more of a hint of glow. The melt is great if you want a lot of glow. I prefer Huda for daytime, melt for going out occasion kind of thing, because it's very glowy. My battery is threatening to die. When is it not? My favourite contour was my Too Faced Cocoa Contour. I lusted after that palette for so long, finally got it, really loved it. But I don't have it anymore because I just wasn't reaching for a huge contour palette anymore. I felt like as time's gone on, I don't need big palettes with heaps of options for like face products. So my current favourite is my Essence Contour Duo. You can pick this up on Amazon, I'm pretty sure. I think Wilko obviously had it, but they now, I think Wilko's completely shut down. I don't know. I can't remember if they're all shutting down or if other shops bought some Wilko's. But anyway, Essence Contour Kit is very inexpensive. It is very beautiful. It does exactly what you need a contour to do. And you've got a very light shade and then a darker shade. I tend to mix the two, and I also tend to contour slightly differently, whereas I don't take it right up here and then right down to here. I tend to just pop it in the middle, and then I feel like it gives a much more natural kind of look. A little bit on the jaw, but not too much, because I cannot blend jaw contour. I've never learned, don't know how, literally can't do it. Oh, my battery's gonna die and my memory card is about to fill up, so I will be back in a second and we will bronze. Battery changed. Let's go. My favourite bronzer back then was Benefit HOOLA Light. This is still a solid favourite. I was talking about this in my live the other day on Fridays, and nothing really beats Benefit HOOLA for me. It's very pale, and I'm a pale gal. Maybe not NARS also pale, but I am pale. And this bronzer just makes all my dreams come true. All my pale girl dreams, because a lot of bronzers, like I used HOOLA, like the original HOOLA, for so long because it's what everyone else used, like all the beauty influencers that I'd watch and stuff. It was too dark for me, like way too dark for me. And then HOOLA Light came out and everything changed. I do have some good drugstore like versions of this now, but I do still reach for my HOOLA Light when I want to feel a little bit more fancy, I suppose, or feel like my makeup just looks perfect. If you want, I did do a drugstore version of this favourites at the exact same time that I did this high end. Like I think I did the drugstore a week after I did the high end. So if you want me to do this again, so my old favourites but in drugstore, then let me know. I think I have less of those products still in my collection, but what I'm missing, I could maybe go out and buy some of them because it's drugstore, so it's easier to go and replace them and see if they're still favourites or what I've replaced them with in the time. Because you probably noticed I am using pretty much all high-end products. Apart from that contour kit, everything is pretty much high-end. Oh, I forgot my setting spray, and I'm pretty sure I put it on before this, but we can go back to that. I'm really packing on my bronzer out here because I want it to meet up with my eyeshadow and just give me that very bronzed look. I think I do prefer my 2023 eyes, but I know they're not perfect, but I'm gonna go back in and blend them, I promise. I tend to take my bronzer down here now. I didn't used to. Yeah, let me pat over with my sponge, and then I'm gonna put on a bit of my setting spray. So my 2019, was it? 2019, 2018? Whatever the video was my GLAMGLOW Glow Starter setting spray, and that was my favourite of all time. I actually only got rid of that recently because it pretty much run out. I have kind of replaced it though with my Glow Milk Mist from the Beauty Crop. This stuff is, I wouldn't say high end, but I wouldn't say it's totally drugstore, but it is more of a drugstore price. I think it's £12 for that big bottle. This is Glowy Setty Gorgeousness, so I'm going to use this one. I believe in using a lot of setting spray because I feel like it just soaks up everything on your face. Anything extra or too much, it just helps. That setting spray is well worth the money, by the way. It is fantastic. It gives a wee bit of a glow, but it's not too much. It's not like intense, but it's just wonderful. And then my favourite blushers were two. So the first one was Benefit Dandelion, which definitely is still a favourite. However, Melissa of today wants to use more of a peach tone, so I am going to start off with this because it is quite a neutral-ish pink. But to be honest, I don't think you're going to see... Oh no, it is showing up. I didn't think you'd actually see very much of it. But now, Melissa, current Melissa wants to put on more of a peachy tone. My second favourite was NARS Adoration. It was a little duo. I'm pretty sure I picked it up in TK Maxx at the time and I was so delighted with it. Gorgeous pinks. So this was the era of pink blush for me. I'm definitely getting back into it depending what makeup I'm wearing, but overall I'm definitely more of a peach blush fan. I just think it suits my skin's undertone more when I'm wearing makeup. Do you know what? Benefit Dandelion is still a stunning blush. I don't think I'll ever get rid of it. In my collection I have like 2 little palettes that also have Dandelion in it and it still makes me really happy. It's such, oh, it's just so stunning. But I do want to add a bit more of like a peachy tone. Like I just said, in terms of favourites, probably, probably MUA Papaya Whip. I feel like this isn't quite in stock anymore. I don't know if they've stopped making it, but I'm just going to add a bit of this because I used 2 blushes in that video. So I'm going to use 2 today, but cheat slightly. I probably should use a high-end peach, but there we go. We can do what we want, can't we? Nobody tells us what to do. They do, but you know what I mean. I actually really like those 2 together. They look very nice because they're very, just like one's a very pale peach, one's a very pale pink, and they just kind of mix together stunningly. I'm going to go back in with my palette and just blend my eyes a bit more. I want to make this like almost more grungy in terms of like just bringing these tones down a bit more, pulling them into my bronzer, making me look like I haven't slept. I actually haven't slept. I had to sleep on the couch last night. Can you tell? I've got the sleeping on the couch grumps. Dan is a very restless sleeper. And if he wakes me up with it, then and he doesn't always wake me up with it, but if he does, I tend to then just go and sleep on the couch because the town where I live is very noisy, especially on a weekend, which it is. Last night was a Saturday night and there was no way I was getting back to sleep with all the people out at the pub and stuff, so it's just, that's fine. It's nice and quiet at the back of my house, thankfully. What is the lighting? It looks so dark. Is it just me? I'm just gonna use that same brush in a lighter shade. I've got like all my lights set up as well. And I want to bring this right into my contour. This is definitely like more glam than I thought I was gonna be today. I thought I was gonna go for like quite natural makeup, but here we are. And just big fat brushes just to really pull this out into my bronzer. Maybe this makeup's gonna end up just looking like shit, to be honest, but good thing is it washes off. Thank goodness, because some of the makeup I used to put on my face, imagine I'd been stuck with that for the rest of my life. I'm gonna use some of my old favourite, this like little glittery one. Put it as a brow bone highlight. It's still doing bits in 2023. Realistically, we're pretty much in 2024 anyway, so it's September. It's like the end of September. I might get a bit more dark brown down the bottom as well. Oh, sit on my face. I will never get rid of this palette. And then more of this. Should I do what I did the other day? Did I film that video or was it a live? I think I filmed it. It was like get ready with me for work, yeah. And I just put this glitter everywhere and I just loved it, like everywhere. Why not? Right up to my bloody brow. Oh, stunning. Highlighter. I have one of the same favourites. So my other favourite was ABH Amrezy highlighter, but I don't have that anymore. I've got my Rare Beauty in the shade Exhilarate, which has changed my life and everybody needs it. It's a lot. It is not a subtle highlight in the slightest. Like it's hard not to put too much on because it is that bold, but we're gonna put it on and it is very high end as well. Like they're super expensive, but holy crap, if you like a bright highlight, you're gonna like this. I did almost pick up Benefit Cookie to use, but I thought no, come on, just use your Rare Beauty. God, it is something. Oh, I'm putting on too much, way too much. I need to go back in with my bronzer brush. Where is it? Come on, that's not it. Where's my bronzer brush? Oh, it's here. It's sitting here. And try and blend the edges of that down. And then I also went in with my Fenty Beauty in How Many Carats, which is, get away fly, this pale ass one. It's going to be too pale for today, but don't worry, I have the shade Royal Icing, which is the same thing but in more of a golden tone, so I'm going to use that one today. Both are still favourites. Like, well, Royal Icing I've not had as long, but I do love this Fenty highlighter. It's very much a little glittery moment, So if you don't like glitter, you're not gonna like it, and it's not something I wear every single day because it would be too much for me every single day. But if you like a smattering of glittery beautifulness, you're gonna like this, I think. Amazing. I'm gonna go through on my brows and a lash because I think it was a tatty lash I had as my favourite, and I don't really use those anymore. I think they were mink lashes, and I'm definitely not a mink lash user anymore, but I'll go through on my brows because I already had them done in that video, and a lash, and then we'll come back and we'll put a lip on together. But let's do another layer of setting spray because why not? Not that I'm going anywhere I need this so set for, but might as well. Right, I will be back. Okay, lashes on. You might also notice a bit of wing on because I just thought it looked better with my inner corner wing, and also then it kind of more ties into the style of look I did last time. But yeah, I just used my KVD and put that on. Also put more glitter on because why not? I don't think I mentioned a lip pencil in that video, but I used my Melt in Bare. The lipstick I did mention I do still have. This is definitely like needing to go in the bin. It's Dose of Colours Sand. I loved Dose of Colours. I still do. They're just really hard to get now in the UK. I was worried this colour might be a little bit too cool tone for this, but I actually think it's okay. It is still a stunning colour, I think. I do find these quite drying, and I don't tend to reach for liquid lipsticks anymore because I feel like they just, like, all the lines on my lips are really pronounced when I use them, but sometimes I'll still use them if I need a kiss proof one. I don't mind reds in liquid lipsticks because I feel like they kind of hide the lines a bit more, but nudes for me kind of show them way worse. I way much more overline my lips these days than I used to. Oh well. You know what? You only live once. Might as well overline your lips. A bit more contour down here. They are juicy. I'm tempted to go in with a gloss. I feel like a gloss would go better with this like super glittery eye. But I don't know. Do you know what else I did? I went in with my Fenty in Royal Icing, and I like put that on my eyelid as well. Just like to spread out this shim a bit more. And I thought that kind of added to it. I do feel like we're done. I think I will put a bit of a gloss on. I want something like clear and sparkly. I've got this ColourPop Hocus Pocus one, but I'm gonna put it on my hand and not straight over this because then it will get the wand all messy. I like that. I like that. If you want a gloss, by the way, like a glittery clear gloss, like I've got this one, but obviously ColourPop's a wee bit hard to get here and it's quite expensive. I got this e.l.f. one in the shade Bubbles. Yeah, Bubbles, which is also clear and sparkly. I got that for like £3 in Superdrug, and they are really similar. So if you want something just easier to get here, this one. I think that is us. I think we are done. I like this makeup look. I think it's gonna photograph quite well. There's a part of me that wants to like blend out my eyes a bit more, make them more dramatic, but I don't know if I have skills. Oh, and my lashes are my favourite Shein lashes, and I just love them. They're very like thick on the outer corner and a lot smaller on the inner corner, so it kind of gives you more that cat eye effect. But yeah, I think we're done. I need to change my battery again because this one has now almost run out, and then I will come back and we'll very briefly discuss the products and whether I think they're still as good as they are or not, but very brief because I know we talked about it a lot during the video. But yeah, I think I need some, like, I never remember to accessorize because I'm not really a jewellery gal. I've got these little Primark gold hoops I might just put in. I also need to get my second hole done again on this ear because it's completely closed up, but will I? Probably not. Okay, I'll be back and we'll quickly discuss what we used. Okay, let's very quickly talk about the products that I used because, like I said, we talked about it during it. The GLAMGLOW Glow Starter Moisturiser, would I still recommend it? Yeah, if you want a moisturiser that is glowy at the same time. It's quite thick. It's lovely. It smells really good. It does feel really good. I feel like it's a bit too thick for me now. It's a bit kind of claggy feeling. It's just not as thin as the moisturisers that I prefer to use. So if you don't mind a bit of thick, it's not thick, but it just, compared to what I use now, it's quite thick feeling. But I'm not going to get rid of it. I'm going to try and finish this up, which will probably never happen because it's like entirely full. It smells so good. But I'll use it even on no makeup days, just as the moisturiser that I throw on. Foundation, definitely still recommend this. It's wonderful. It's full coverage, but it doesn't feel heavy or cakey. It looks stunning throughout the day. Like, I just took pictures of my makeup and my skin looks airbrushed. Obviously helped by the fact that I have all these studio lights. It just like, I feel like it smooths your skin a bit. I don't have a smoothing filter on my camera. I do, but I don't use it. So it looks stunning in real life and on camera. I didn't have the concealer obviously, but my Huda concealer I would highly recommend. I never stop speaking about this and I never will, because it is just the titties. I don't have a concealer that comes close to how light feeling it is, but the coverage that you get. The Fenty powder would still recommend. Use it all the time. It is wonderful. Obviously I wanted a bit more glow, so I went in with my Huda, but you don't have to, but this I definitely recommend as well. That's not part of the video though. Stop it, Melissa. In terms of then base, what do we use? Powder from the Benefit HOOLA Light 100%. If you're pale like me, it is one of the most beautiful bronzers. Like I said, if you want me to do a drugstore version of this, so like from the same year, favourites then let me know, because I've definitely got some new very cheap bronzers that I love. This contour kit, wonderful. That's really cheap as well actually, but I still hugely stand behind Benefit Dandelion. I think it's one of the prettiest, most natural flushes of pink. It's not going to show up on someone with a medium skin tone even, I don't think. On me, because I am pale, it does look just lovely on my skin, I think. And then I did use my MUA. Obviously that's a favourite, everyone knows that about me. Rare Beauty highlighters are literally some of the most beautiful highlight. Even in the pan, it looks outrageous. It's very much worth the money if you love an in-your-face highlighter. And then Fenty Royal Icing, it's something I only wear on like special occasions because it is so glowy, but it's stunning like on your body, like on your collarbones and your shoulders and stuff like that. It's really lovely. And I would have used the How Many Carats, but I just felt like it wasn't dark enough for my makeup today. Love the KVD liner, but I do think the Huda one's better. Urban Decay Midnight Cowboy is a staple. Dose of Colour Sand is a stunning colour. Definitely something I would wear all the time. And I like it with the gloss on top because I feel like it gives it a bit more dimension, and also you can't see the lines in my lips so much whilst I'm wearing it. I'm trying to tidy up as I go along. Second to last, we have the Beauty Crop Glow Milk. 10,000% recommend this. It's absolutely wonderful. I'm about halfway through this and I use it all the time, and I use a lot of setting sprays. It will last you for ages. And then very much last up is my FRIENDCATION palette. I think it is the most beautiful palette in the world. I just, where could I put a tiny bit of blue? Since I've finished and I've taken my pictures, I want to take a bit of my favourite blue from here and like shove that on somewhere. This might mess everything up. It's just the most stunning blue shimmer in the world. Dose of Colours Tell Me More is quite similar to it. I think that's why I ended up buying Tell Me More in the end, but this colour is just life. You're not even seeing it for how good it is because like it's on top of other stuff, but yeah, this palette, I don't think I'll ever declutter. It just has such a special place in my heart. It was so expensive at the time for me to buy. It still would be now, but like at the time it was such a splurge, and I've used it so much on my channel. It was worth every penny. But yeah, that is it. That is my I keep thinking 2016 in my head, but it's 2019, I'm pretty sure. 2019 favourites. But in 2023, with a little bit of a 2023, like more how I would do my makeup now. I hope that was interesting. I hope it's fun. Like I said, again, if you want to see me do it in drugstore, then let me know because I've got that video as well. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me today. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do give it a big thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below. Tell me what you think. And subscribe if you haven't already. That would be really lovely. We got 85k. My pal Anne-Marie texted me. She was like, congratulations. Like, oh my goodness. I didn't even notice that. That's pretty cool. And maybe 100k by the end of next year. Who knows? But yeah, thank you for joining me, and I hope I'll catch you on the flip side. I'm gonna piss off. Goodbye.